स्वामी शील प्रभुपाद की ISKCON founder Acharya BBT founder Acharya His Divine Grace AC Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada की नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की समवेद भक्त वृंद की समवेद भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग की ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Can you keep this a little backside so that I can also see? Welcome to the morning Srimad Bhagvatam class. We have been discussing. Yeah, it can be a little this side. You can face the audience. Yeah, yeah. Just little more that side. Little more that side. Yeah, bas, that's it. So we have been discussing on the Srimad Bhagavatam 6 to 14. We will continue the discussion. Let's recite this verse together. Sankyetyam parihasyam va stobam helanameva va vaikunta nama grahanam asheshagaraham vido. Translation: one who chants the holy name of the Lord is immediately freed from the reactions of unlimited sin, Ashesha Agara, Ashesha Hara. Even if he chants indirectly, Sanketya, to indicate something else, jokingly, Parihasya, for musical entertainment, Stoba, or even neglectfully, Helanam. This is accepted by all learned scholars of the scriptures. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथामृतं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we have been discussing this verse from the Srimad Bhagvatam, Sanketa Parihasyam Stovam Helanava Vaikunta Nama Grahanam Ashesha Agaharam Vidu. So in this context, we have been trying to understand the Namabhas Tattva. So generally, you need to understand three principles: Sambandha, Abhidheya, and Prayojan. Ajamil chanted the holy name without Sambandha Gyan, but yet he attained the Prayojan. Without practice of Sambandha and Abhidheya, he attained Prayojan. Abhidheya later on he practiced, yes, but he had no Sambandha Gyan when he took the name of Narayan at the time of death. He got the Sambandha Gyan during the conversation between the Vishnu Dutas and Yamdutas. And with that Sambandha Gyan, he practiced the Abhidheya and ultimately attained Prayojan. There is another instance in the Chaitanya Charitamrita because Mahaprabhu is very merciful. No Sambandha, no Abhidheya, straight Prayojan. The fisherman who caught Mahaprabhu in his net, just coming in touch with Mahaprabhu in that form, condensed form of Ashtasattva Yukar, where his body had completely, gone inside. He just chanted like mad. What? The name of Krishna. And that was what? Prem Nam. First we chant what? Nama Pradnam. Then Nama Bhasnam. Then we chant Shuddhanam. In Shuddhanam, then we progress to Bhavanam. And after Bhavanam, we chant Premnam. But this fisherman was chanting what name? Premnam. This is Mahaprabhu's mercy. And he thought he's haunted by a ghost. What happened to him coming in touch? And Mahaprabhu's associates are looking for Mahaprabhu. And they come across this fisherman. Ghost, ghost, he's thinking, So Svarudamar slaps him. You got Krishna Prem, man. So we have been trying to understand Namabhas Tattva. And what is the Tattva that we have to chant in Sambandha Gyan? We have to chant in Sambandha Gyan. Whereas these Ashraddha Namabhas, beginning with Sanket and ending with Helanam, they are chanted without faith. Even Ashraddha Namabhas, this is the potency. But this will not lead to what? Krishna Prem. It can give you at max liberation. And that is why if yesterday remember that statement, what is Shraddha Namabhas? Shraddha Namabhas means that chanting with faith and with anarthas is Shraddha Namabhas. And within this there are divisions. Abhas is of two types, Chaya and Pratibimb. So that is why there are two divisions, Chaya Abhas and Pratibimba Abhas. So there is then Chaya Namabhas and Pratibimba Namabhas within this category. So now we have understood the Sambandha Gyan. Now we need to do the what? Abhidheya. So today and tomorrow we will discuss the Abhidheya, the knowledge now, by how we should practice now, understanding these truths. Prayojan is in our hands and Krishna's mercy of when we'll attain the Prayojan. But if we don't practice the Abhidheya without the Sambandh Gyan, then we don't make any progress. So now let us go into the Abhidheya Tattva more of how with Sambandh Gyan we need to chant. Okay. And we were discussing the glory of understanding this Namabhas Tattva. Namabhasa bujile Nama Shuddha hobe. Anayasa Jiva Nama Guna Tareyabe. One who understands Namabhas will attain pure chanting of the holy name. And by the mercy of the holy name, that soul will cross over the ocean of birth and death. So this is the glory. So understanding this, now we should now go to the Abhidheya Tattva. So we mentioned how what is Shraddha Namabhas? Shraddha Namabhas means chanting with faith and with anarthas. So now what are these anarthas? Let's try to understand. Tomorrow, how to chant in Sambandha Gyan. Tomorrow we'll see that. That completes the whole discussion. So now, what is that anarthas is explained here. Nama Surya Sama Nashe Maya Andakar Mega Kuja Hatika Name Dakhe Bar Bhar. Shining like the sun. Nama Surya Sama. The holy name destroys the darkness of ignorance. Nashe Maya Andakar. However, the clouds of fog again and again, bar bar, cover the sun of the holy name. So we all have this experience. Maybe someday, suddenly, it's sunshine, no clouds, and when you chant, you fully experience some mercy of the holy name. But day in and day out, we are always struggling because of the clouds. Because they dake bar bar. So this is our everyday battle which we encounter. Mega Kujjahattika. The clouds and the fog. Again and again, what they cover the son of the holy name. This clouds is the anarthas. The fog is the avidya, which is there deep in the heart. The three modes basically, which are there in the heart. जीवेरा ज्ञान आर अनर्थ सकल कुज्जहटिका मेघ रूप हयते प्रबल. The individual soul's ignorance, ajnana, jivera jnana, and anarthas, anartha sakal, become like clouds and fogs. So the ignorance is fog, and the anarthas are like the clouds. Okay. Krishna and Krishna Nam are non-different and are like the transcendental sun. They destroy the dark nature of Maya out of compassion for the Baddha Jivas. The Son of the Holy Name manifests in this world. The Baddha Jiva's ignorance is like fog. The Avidya is compared to fog. The Baddha Jiva's anarthas are like clouds which cover the Son of the Holy Name with darkness. And that darkness covers the eyes of the Baddha Jiva. The sun is huge, so it cannot be covered. But when shadow falls upon the eyes of the jiva, it is said that the sun is covered. The sun is very huge. You cannot cover. Try to take some cloth and try to cover the sun. So how is it possible that these anarthas cover? And the example is here, like sun, and we are covered. Deep covering of avidya is there internally. Yeah. So although the sun is there, so this is how our situation is. So what are the obstructions? The obstructions is ignorance in the form of fog and anarthas in the form of clouds. Krishna nama surachita gagane uthila kujjihati kujjahati kamega punatakya dakhila. When the sun of the holy name rises in the sky of the heart. Now I'll not go into the deeper understanding of what is this sky of the heart. Brahmaji's verses explained in the 12th canto. Time doesn't permit us to go into that. But suffice now to understand that the moment you take the name, what happens? Nidra Devi enters us. Right? We all have experience, na? The clouds and the fogs cover the son of the holy name. So this is our problem. We all have experience, na? Other times we are okay. Moment we start taking the holy name, all the thoughts start coming in, all the to-do things start rolling in, right? So like that it happens. Again cover it. But Krishna Nam is how? Surya. Kittek again utila when it rises, but these covers, this clouds and fog cover it. So the real reason is the weakness of the heart in the form of attachments, tuchya asakti, and we are not able to focus on the chanting of the holy name, and we are not able to uproot the anarthas which are within the heart. And then we do what? What do? Inattentive chanting. And by that inattentive chanting, what happens? The weakness increases. And then what happens? Anarthas, also known as clouds, the weeds grow. Instead of watering the Bhakti Lata, you start watering the Upashakas. And the clouds, which are anarthas, they become more thick, right? A good thing to do, right? How many of us feel that I'd not had a good night rest? Let me go for a ride on the car in the hill, and then I'm dozing, but let me continue to drive on a steep hill, and you'll continue to drive. How many of us will do that? Madness. Raise your hands. But we do that every day. We do that, no? Every day. Because what happens? If you meet with an accident, you lose a body. You'll get another body. But if you sleep while japa, then we don't know which Brahmand you will again, which yoni you will take birth. And by the time Mahaprabhu's movement is over, we don't know if we are not serious. So anarthas are going to what? Increase. And the clouds will become thicker. And this will prevent the rising of the holy name. So the holy name was compared to what? Krishna and Nama Surya Sama. So the quality of sun is heat and light. So the heat, the fire of Krishna Prema starts burning in the heart. And the light is what? Knowledge. Vidyavadu Jivanam. What is the quality of sun? What is the quality of sun? To purify substances. And what is the quality of holy name? Purify from us from sins. And this holy name, please remember, is more powerful than millions of suns. You stand in the sun for years together, but it cannot purify your sins. But the holy name is so powerful that it can purify your sins. How many of us have experienced the direct effect of purifying of the sins by taking the name? I'll give you an example, practical example. Just like I don't know today how the photos are printed. Nobody prints photos nowadays. I all is stored in the camera. Nobody's interested to have photos, only frames or take what is it called? Huh? Laminated prints and the paper. That particular quality of paper is there. So in the olden times, the film. There was a film, and that film it is in the studio. In the dark. It is processed. If the film, what the picture is taken, if that film is exposed to light, sunlight, what will happen? The image will get erased. So it's not exposed. So similarly, when sense object in the form of vasanas, I'm speaking about vasanas, affect the heart, chitta, just like the film where the picture was clicked and now it is exposed to the sun, the, the image erases. For us to, if that vasana is going to agitate the heart and take us towards Maya, what is the best process to do? Take the holy name. If you take complete shelter of the holy name, then it can eradicate that impression which has fallen in the chitta. And the classic example is Ajamil. Ajamil saw that image and he clicked the image in his heart. But although he tried to, Smriti, he tried to remember the scriptures and tried to control himself, but he did not take shelter of the holy name of the spiritual master at that time. And that's why that image formed an impression in the chitta. And then what happened? Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsan. So this is the potency of the holy name. It is million times powerful than the this material sun. Okay, now further. Ajnana Kujahati Swarupa Brahma. The mist of ignorance, there is Swarupa Brahma because of this. That we don't understand who are we, Swarupa Brahma. So there are these four types. Position of the name. We don't understand that the name is spiritual. We think the name is material. Position of Krishna and the Devatas. We think they are equal. And position of Jiva. Jiva becomes God. And the goal is liberation or material enjoyment. So one by one we will see this. नामेर ए चित्त स्वरूप ताहा नहीं जाने से अज्ञान कुज हटिक अंधकार आने. When the soul does not understand the spiritual nature of the holy name, the fog of ignorance brings darkness. So when we don't understand the spiritual or nature of the holy name, that is why you have to understand Nama Chintamani. Nam is what? Not that you do chinta of money. It is Chaitanya. It is consciousness. And it is filled with rasa. Sukena Brahma samsparsham atyantam sukam ashnute. Brahma samsparsham, it is mentioned. I don't know, the fifth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita in 21 to 25. So Brahma sparsha. Brahma sparsha means what? Brahma is the absolute truth. It can be Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan. And there is Nama Brahma, the holy name. So moment you touch, what should happen? Sukam akshayam asnute. But moment you touch, what happens? Go to samadhi. Right? So moment, how do you know that you have touched Brahma Sparsha? Just like you have touched a live current wire. Moment to touch it, what happens? You feel the Ashta Sattvic Vikars, right? So you should feel when you touch the Brahma Sparsha, you should feel the Ashta Sattvic Vikars. So that is, but what stops us? The ignorance. Krishna Sarveshwar Bali Nahi Jane Ei Nana Deva Puji Karma Marga Brahme Sei. The soul who does not know that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead will worship many demigods. In this way, he is lost, wandering on the path of karma. Now, we as Krishna's devotees worship the Supreme Lord as Krishna. Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. And we know that Kamasya Saritagyana Prapadyante Anya Devata. We respect the demigods as servants of Vishnu, appointed officers, and we respect them. But in a subtle way, try to understand this. Just like the demigod worshippers worship that particular demigod for what? For what? enjoyment. So similarly, a sadhaka who is trying to enjoy his senses in a subtle way is worshipping demigods. Because the senses are there is a sense object. And that sense object is controlled by what? Sense devatas. So even we have to become free from that. Okay? जीव चित्त स्वरूप बोली नाही यार ज्ञान माया जड़ आश्रय तारा सतत ज्ञान. A soul who does not understand his own spiritual identity as a soul takes shelter of Maya. He is always in ignorance. So you should chant the holy name in your identity as what? Soul. Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita lecture starting 1965 in New York, Matchless Gift, the front store. He was hammering, you are not this body. You hear all the first chapter Bhagavad Gita lectures, second chapter, repeatedly. And all the hippies who had now just joined for his, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday Bhagavad Gita classes, they are hearing these classes. So Prabhupada, after speaking one of the class, one of the devotee, was chanting now, he came and asked, Prabhupada, if I am not my body, then whose body am I? That means I am this body. So it's not so easy to realize that we are spirit soul. So as long as we have not this identity as a soul, and Prabhupada in that lecture mentions, if you are a spirit soul, then there is no question of what? Sense gratification. Because sense gratification means you are the body. Why it is difficult to chant the Hare Krishna? It is difficult because we have been for anadi, millions of lifetimes and millions of bodies trying to gratify our body and senses. And Hare Krishna Maha Mantra means to gratify what? Krishna senses. That's why the trouble starts. You know, Atmendriya Priti, Tara bole Gam. We have been doing Atma Indriya Priti. And this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is what? Krishnendra Priti. So the Baddha Jiva is conditioned to only enjoy his senses. But now he has to give enjoyment to Krishna's senses by chanting. And that is difficult. So it's a paradigm shift required. So one has to be in his own identity. तबे हरिदास बोले आज अमी धन्य मम मुखे नाम कथा सुनिबे chaitanya. Then Chaitanya Haridas Thakur said, today I have become fortunate. From my mouth, Lord Chaitanya will hear about the holy name. See the fortune we have. Namacharya Haridas Thakur, who used to chant every day how many rounds? 192 rounds. He is speaking about the holy name. And who is hearing from him? Krishna in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So how much we should hear if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is hearing the glories of holy name Nama Tattva from Namacharya Haridas Thakur, how much we should be eager to hear. Now Haridas Thakur begins. Ji Krishna Jiva Prabhu Das Jadatmika Maya Ye na jane tar shire agyane rachaya. Lord Krishna and the individual soul are master and servant. And the world of Maya is dull, lifeless, and worthless. Jadatmika Maya. When the soul does not know these truths, the shadow of ignorance falls on his head. So when one doesn't understand, Jiva is what? Servant. And Krishna is what? master. So one should chant in what kind of gyan? Sambandha gyan. So tomorrow we'll discuss the meditation on how when we sit to chant, we should chant in Sambandha gyan. I was the other day explaining that the mother, when they call their child's name, and that too with affection, it is chanted in what? Sambandha gyan. Because the relationship is fixed. I am mother, he or she, he or her is what? My child. And there is sneha, affection, because there is mamata. You know, this is my child, my son or my daughter. So similarly, we should chant in Sambandh Gyan. I am Krishna's servant. Krishna is my master. So tomorrow we'll more work on this. Okay. Now avidya in the form of cloud fog was spoken. Now anarthas which are in the form of clouds are being discussed. Mega anartha asat Krishna hridaya daurabalya aparad. The cloud of anarthas, thirst for worthless material things, tuchicha, hridaya daurabalya, weakness of the heart, and offense, aparad. These are what? The clouds, and these are quite thick. असत तृष्णा हृदय दौर्बल्य अपराध अनर्थ ये सब मेघ रूपे करे बाद. Oh, time is up. The anarthas are thirst for worthless material things. Asat trishna. Weakness of the heart, hridaya, daurbalya. And offenses, aparad. Like clouds, these anarthas block the sun of the holy name. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Bhajan Rahasya mentions that there are these four types of, you know, uh, anarthas. Tattva Vibhrama, Asat Trishna, Hridaya Daurbalya, and Aparad. And for all the four, there are four subdivisions. But here he says three. But here is analyzing from a different perspective. He has included the Tattva Vibhrama within the Anartha of fog, avidya. Right? So there he does a different analysis. Tattva Vibhrama, he says Swa Tattva Vibhrama, Para Tattva Vibhrama, Sadhana Tattva Vibhrama, and then Sadhya Tattva Vibhrama. Four like that. And Tucha Asakti, attachment to mental enjoyment, heavenly enjoyment, liberation. You know, we are attached to our, I don't know what all. And the highest attachment today is to our what? Mobile. Maybe you might not feel so much separation from your bead bags. Try. Just keep your phone one day away and you will be searching for it. Hey Radhe, hey Vrajitevike, hey Lalite. Kuta. If little bit in your consciousness, if it is there, where is my mobile? Then there is no chance you'll become Krishna conscious. Please don't take my statements again. Take it lightly, yeah? Otherwise, to become Krishna conscious is difficult. That's the point. That's why at least 12 hours in 24 hours, you should have a digital detox. Then there is hope that you will chant and the holy name. Okay? The anarthas are thirst for worthless things, weakness of the heart, offense, like clouds, they block the sun of the holy name. So Asat Krishna is on earth, in heaven, siddhis, and liberation. These are the four divisions. The weakness of heart is greed, cheating, envy, desiring fame, pratishtha, asha. You know, and the aparad is to nam, seva aparad, vaishnava aparad, and jiva himsa. So these are all the Upashakas Mahaprabhu discusses in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And among most grievance is the Namaprad. So all these are anarthas. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, Srila Prabhupada की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. So tomorrow we will complete this discussion and we'll give the remedy for how to chant in Sambandha Gyan with faith, so that quickly you can destroy the anarthas and then attain Nam. Okay. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.